Does it work now? Can you hear me now? Hello. Hello, everyone. Isn't this a very different look for me? I just got done doing a photo shoot. Like literally 5 minutes before we start streaming, so that's always fun. And then, for some reason, my computer monitor wouldn't turn on, but I figured it out. So, there's that. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the whole look? I did a photo shoot for Patreon, and how do I describe what I attempted to achieve with this? I wanted to do something vampire related. I wanted to do something with fake blood, but I didn't want to do like the stereotypical like gothic vampire because I have another outfit I'm gonna do for that involves some latex and some really big heels. But I wanted to do something that's a little bit different, and I've been watching a lot of anime recently. So I decided I was gonna do like a kawaii like vampire thing, and so I have like these circle lenses going on. I got this split wig. I'm actually very pleased with how well the color of the wig matches with the circle lenses. I had no idea what was gonna happen with that. And I have this going on, and I covered a Care Bears tank top in fake blood, and it was a fun time. I'm so excited to see what the actual photos look like when I get them off of my camera. I'm so glad you guys get to see what I look like right now. It was tons of fun. It was so fun. And I did another photo shoot for Patreon. I did basically this whole week's been Halloween content for me. And earlier I did a photo shoot on Patreon that was like Monster Girl, like classic monster movie. Like I had like a really cute lingerie set that had like the classic movie monsters on it, and I did like a photo shoot with that. But like this, I'm really happy with. This came out way closer to what I was picturing I wanted it to be, and I love it. I love the whole outfit. I was really terrified how I would look in pastels because I never wear them, but I think this pink on the wig is like a warm enough pink to where it doesn't look like, usually pastels just look gross on me. It just looks so gross. And like this is a super cheap Amazon wig because I was anticipating getting it covered in fake blood, and some of the pink I think got I got fake blood in this, so I didn't want to spend like a ton of money on it, but I think it came out pretty right, and I did like look the whole background and everything. I'm like 50%. People keep telling me Melanie Martinez, and I don't really know who that is. I remember that name from Tumblr. I think she's a music person. People told me that, and people told me Tabby, the Tabby character from ContraPoints' videos, and so I'm like 50%, 20% Melanie Martinez, 20% Tabby from ContraPoints, and 60%, I don't even know what else, just whatever anime kawaii like vampire girl. There's an anime series that involves like a pastel cute vampire character, which I am remembering this anime that I watched years ago that I feel like had one really old vampire that was like, second, third generation vampire that was really, really old, but that was like a little girl. If anybody remembers what I'm talking about, it involves a bunch of humans that are like trying to escape from the vampires because like the vampires rule the globe. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, please tell me because I want to rewatch that now. I like the bangs as well. I have not been able to have bangs in so long because of COVID. I've not gotten to get my hair done, so we are just rocking the no bang life, and I feel like I look way better with bangs. Having bangs can be kind of a pain, especially when your forehead gets all sweaty. It's like, but, Actually, I feel like I'm talking fairly well with these fangs in, which I'm surprised by, because they are just, like, cheap little, like, scarecrow Halloween fangs. They're not anything special. They're also, like, 2 shades more yellow than the rest of my teeth. So that's fun. When I had my bob haircut, that was so long ago. That was so many hairstyles ago now. That was amazing. All right, well, happy Halloween Eve, everyone. How is everyone doing? If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. So for those of you who don't know, this is an interactive Q&A live stream. So if you want to hang out and ask questions, that is what this whole format is all about. I feel like my microphone is like, am I not close enough to it? Do I need to be closer? I feel like I'm worried about it being too quiet. But I'm so close to the microphone. I don't know how to get closer to it. Me and the microphone are in a complicated relationship with each other. I just feel like with this whole look, I'm just so sassy. Because normally for live streams, I don't wear any makeup. I don't do anything special. So like, I'm like, I look pretty alright today. I look put together. And I'm living for it. I'm loving it. But yeah, this is an interactive Q&A. So as it says above, please read the rules and the FAQ. That is where you will get all the details for everything that you need to know about how this works. So if you ask something that is against the rules or in the FAQ, I will not answer your question, because there are just some things that either I can't talk about because it's YouTube, or I can't talk about because my lack of experience, or because I'm not comfortable, or whatever else. So familiarize yourself with that. So if you have a question like, how do I introduce my boyfriend to BDSM, or how do I tell my girlfriend I want to tie her up, or where can I find gear, or where can I buy a flogger, like if it's something like that, it's in the FAQ. I double triple promise, save everybody some time. Click on the links. They work. I double checked. They work. So those are the resources available to you. You and Pink, I thought I'd never see it. Oh, but feel free to ask about anything you want as well. By the way, this is like BDSM themed typically, but like if you want to ask me Halloween related questions or whatever else, it's all good. Just an opportunity to hang out. I mean, I never thought I would see it either. I just had like this vision in my head of this thing that I wanted to do, and I was like, it would involve wearing pink, but I would also be a vampire covered in fake blood. So it evens out a little bit. Like, again, I'm very surprised. Like, I feel like this side is like, who is she? Who is this e-girl on Twitch that we're currently hanging out with, you know? Over here, it's like, I would wear this look. I don't normally wear circle lenses, which, by the way, love these circle lenses. I have not worn circle lenses in easily like 2 or 3 years. These are the iFairyCon Poppy Macaron lenses. This is the red and this is the pink, and I love them because I feel like they show like almost all of your natural eye, and then you see the color. So I feel like it has this very unique sort of effect for a circle lens, and I really like it. They're super comfortable. I forget that I'm wearing them at all, and I love that. So it's just like, it's like e-girl, or having a little e-girl moment, and then we're having a little regular Evie moment with the bonus of the contact lenses, because I don't think I've worn this exact look before. I don't think I've had this combination of lipstick and these particular eyeshadows before, but you get a little bit, you get the preview of what it would look like in a different life, and me where I normally am, you know. Anyways, I'm just like, I'm so enamored with how this turned out, because sometimes I think of photo shoots and things I want to do, and then the execution ends up being like way different, and this just like, I spent probably more money on putting this together than I should have, but it was for me as much as it was for like making content. So I'm happy for that. I love the fangs. I love them too. I think they look way better than I was expecting them to. I'm super excited about that. What anime have you been watching? Most recently I finished Demon Slayer. That one was super worth it if you're looking for an anime. By the way, guys, I haven't heard anybody say it's quiet. Please let me know if my audio is too quiet, because I feel like I'm on the edge where it may be too quiet for people that don't have headphones, but I will try my best to enunciate. I've been watching Demon Slayer, just finished that. Super good, super worth it. If you've been like wondering about if you should watch it or not, go watch it. I'm super upset. They had a movie for Demon Slayer that came out in Japan like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and it broke box office records in Japan. It was a huge movie. Like, sometimes a movie theater would be showing it 40 times a day. Like, that's how big the fucking movie for this show was. And as far as I can tell, they're not bringing it over to the US anytime soon. And so I would really love to be able to watch that movie. I do not want to get every virus on the internet downloading random files to my computer attempting to find it online, but I would love to be able to watch that. I did, however, restart watching Konosuba, which I had seen like the first 4 or 5 episodes of before, but I have now picked it back up again, and I'm so glad I did, because I completely forgot about Darkness, the character Darkness. If anybody has seen that show, you know what I'm talking about. Hardcore masochist, more hardcore masochist than anybody I've ever met. Like, super funny character, super relatable, and every single time I watch it, my partner, like, leans over to me, and he's like, that's you. And I'm like, please stop outing me like this. I don't know if he's currently watching the stream. He might be. But if he is, he knows what I'm talking about. With, like, Darkness as a character. It's just, like, she's, like, this knight, right? But she's very bad at hitting things, rather. And she wants to basically absorb all of the damage from the monsters that are fighting. Because it's, like, it's sort of like an isekai. It is an isekai, which means that they've been transported to another world, and the main character is, like, trying to go on this big quest to save everyone in this universe, and blah, blah, blah. So they have to fight monsters and stuff. It's very, like, JRPG-esque. And she wants to take damage all the time. She's a big, like, defense tank. And she does it in this way that comes across as very, like, perverted and kinky, where she's like, I'm going to let this demon do all these lewd things. He's going to do all these lewd things to my body and take me back to his castle and torture me. It's like, the demons are like, wait, what are you talking about? No, it's not what we're doing. And it's super funny. I love that one as well. There was one, yeah, if somebody can remind me, I'm sure now I've said that, 20 people have reminded me in the chat of what the name is of the other show that I wanted to watch again that involves the vampires and the humans that want to escape from the vampires, because the vampires, like, control the planet, and human resistance and blah, blah, blah. If anybody knows what that is, let me know. The Care Bear has seen some stuff. Only today. This is technically a new shirt, and I only rubbed blood on it. It could have been much worse for this shirt. And it probably will be worse for this shirt in the future, if I'm being entirely honest. Not the worst thing I think a Care Bear has probably seen, though. Are you going to make any more ASMR videos? I have, actually. So, earlier today on my Patreon, I posted a Halloween storytime video where I did a soft reading of 2 Halloween books. One of them was called The Room on the Broom, and the other one was a Charlie Brown one about the Great Pumpkin. And it was very cute, and I had a very fun time making it. So if you want to see more ASMR videos, I have that on my Patreon now. Anyways, that's my answer. Yes, more ASMR, for sure. I am hoping that one day nanotech tape will be a thing, so I can just use one strip of it and it will be all you need for a gag. That sounds, I don't know what nanotech is in particular, but I love the idea of, like, a sci-fi tech thing. Anything sci-fi related is good for me. That sounds like a fun time. Are you familiar with Sub Shop Autumn from Autumn Lafleur? Lafleur. I don't know. Let me Google. I might be familiar. I have never seen this before in my life. This looks like it's cheap Chinese drop shipping stuff. I could be wrong about that. That's the impression I get, but I can't really look a lot of it right now because it's very not safe for work. And technically, I'm currently doing and work. So, I'm doing and work. Ooh, there we go. There's my stream. I lost it for a second when I was Googling that. What's your shirt? My shirt is a Care Bear that's been covered in fake blood. Not real blood, I should emphasize. Not real blood. Fake blood. Hi Evie, your makeup's looking great. Would you consider doing makeup tutorial videos? I have done a couple. I've done like 2 or 3 before, but I find that people don't really watch them. Like I know, I hear you guys, and I know I have like a very strong subset of my audience that is like here for the makeup looks and wants to do this or do this. Like, who is she? But like people don't generally tend to watch them. I have one that's an older one that was like a get ready with me, like dungeon look. I know I've done makeup during live streams before, and that's usually when I would do makeup. Is if I was doing something on Friday night after the stream, I would do the makeup on stream and kind of like, you know, save some time. Also, I have a little bit of red staining left from the fake blood on my hands, so that's that. I would love to do more, but it's just like there's not the interest there for me to warrant it generally being like its own video. I definitely want to do more, especially when it relates more to like, you know, stuff that I can do in a more BDSM specific way, like getting ready to go to a dungeon or for a scene or something like that. But dungeons have been closed, so I haven't really had that occasion. But I would love to do more because I like doing makeup. I like doing makeup. I know, shocker. I'm just picturing what it would look like if this whole wig was pink, and if I had the same makeup on both sides. And it's like freaky. It freaks me out a little bit to think about because I'm like, who are you? I came in just as you were talking about the vampire anime where children try and escape, and I know exactly what you're talking about. It's only the first episode where that happens. The rest of... Oh, Owari no Sephiroth! Thank you! Oh my gosh. I knew it had something like fancy and Latin in the name. Thank you so much. Yes! Seraph of the End. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm sending this to humans that need to know about its existence. Okay, it has been sent, so I cannot forget. I cannot forget its name again. Thank you so much. Who was that? Green Sock. Thank you, Green Sock. The anime is a fine thing. Yes, it is. It kind of, I feel like it has an interesting premise. Again, I didn't watch all of it, so I need to just see it again. Are those teeth fake? I am flattered that you would think they are real. No, they are fake. I feel like I'm not opposed to the idea of getting my teeth sharpened. I feel like my partners may have problems with that if I decided to do that. But like, here you go, there's my tooth. I would not be opposed to getting actually like, maybe some, like a little bit of a pointier tooth. You know, that's what we're dealing with. I have had, there's one like fangsmith person. I would love to get fangs because I like these, but they're like a little bit too long. I would like something that's really, really subtle. So if I was getting a set of custom fangs, like if I could actually meet a fangsmith in person, I would want something like this shape, this position, but I want it to just be like a little bit like these, like just a little bit shorter, like just something super, super subtle, so I can wear them more. But I have had those, like the ones that are like a full, like all the way around, like your entire like front teeth, like they're basically from here to like here, like not your molars, but like kind of it stops, like I think with your second bicuspid, somewhere around there. I don't remember the names of teeth, but something like that. And I had that, and I've it's been forever since I wore them because they don't fit me anymore because, you know, your teeth move around. But like I liked it okay, but I found that apparently, this is according to my dentist, I have, and I quote, freakishly large teeth for my jaw. So I have really big teeth already, and so I don't have a lot of kind of space in my mouth to even put like a veneer over, and I feel like it makes my upper lip just kind of pooch out in this very unnatural way, whereas this I feel like was a lot more natural. It does kind of makes my lip here like droop down like this, which I feel like doesn't look attractive and kind of defeats the purpose of the fangs, because then it covers the fangs, because then my lips are drooping. But I would love to have something a little bit more professional and permanent I can wear for things. I can wear for festivities and activities. Okay, this is our first BDSM related question. I love that. We can talk about vampires and anime as much as you guys want. I have no problems with that whatsoever. But first question here, what is the best way to get out of your shell I read that as shelf originally. And be confident as an aspiring dom. Normally, my advice would be to just like get out there and do it, because that's what I've done. That is what I have found works for me, is to like just close my eyes, pinch my nose, whatever, and dive right in. And when I don't give myself that opportunity to get wrapped up in my own fear and anxiety, it goes a lot better, because it is almost always worse and harder, or it's almost always not as hard and not as bad as I think it will be. I always imagine it to be so much harder and worse than it actually ends up being. And the main thing is just being able to have enough confidence, a little kernel of confidence to say, fuck it, I'm going to do it. Now, because of COVID, obviously, I can't speak for everywhere, but at least in the US, we are not having in-person real life events. We're not meeting people, and those are the situations in which I feel like it's the easiest to kind of get enough confidence to at least go out and try and do it, because you're driving there, you're getting an Uber, whatever, you're ending up in that event, you paid the $20 for the ticket, you're there, you might as well see what's going to happen, right? Whereas now that most things are online, there's not really that same in-person connection that I think can be such a good way of getting confidence. However, I would still recommend, if you can look in your local area on FetLife, if you can find a munch or a discussion group or some other kind of social activity that's happening online, through Zoom or something else. There are so many people, like when we used to have in-person munches, like almost every single time we went to a munch, there would be at least one new person there. And so having new people is not a barrier whatsoever. And everyone has to start at some time, right? Like, there's nobody who's born doing BDSM. And so because of that, like, especially if you're younger, like, a lot of us still really remember, like, what it's like, the first time you go to a munch, the first time you go to a dungeon, kind of trying to get comfortable with who you are as somebody who does BDSM. Like, we can give very empathetic personal advice for what it's like to go through that situation and help you maybe kind of find that confidence through that direct in-person interaction. Honestly, I think the best way, and this is always my technique for when I go anywhere and I don't know somebody, but especially for BDSM, is like, if you have a band t-shirt for a band you really like, or if you have a jacket, put pins on it, or you have some other kind of thing that represents a fandom or a thing that you really, really like. Anime, video games, nerdy math jokes, whatever it is that you're really into, if you have something physically in your wardrobe that you can wear to represent that, that is such a big communication starter, because it gives anybody who's looking at you, who doesn't know you, a really easy way to introduce themselves and have something to relate to you on. Now, of course, if you're at a BDSM munch that you already have, like, BDSM is a thing that you're both, at least tangentially aware of and probably into. But I think it is also, like, that much easier if you can wear something where somebody can come up to you and go, oh, hey, I recognize that thing, or I really like that band too, or what kind of anime do you like? Just give something to help somebody start a conversation with you and help kind of integrate you into the conversation. Now, if what you're talking about is confidence doing a scene instead of confidence, like, just being out as, like, part of the BDSM community, that can be a little bit trickier. Because the real answer there is you have to fake it until you make it, which, trust me, if there was an easier way, I would do it. Because I have been exploring my kind of sadistic side of who I am, and it involves me having to be a top. And, I mean, I've been in the BDSM community for a while now. I've been doing BDSM for a while. I know what to expect. I know what things feel like. Like, I know how to communicate. I know what kind of the standard things are. And I still get nervous when I'm doing something sadistic with somebody else, because I don't know if I'm going to push it too far. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read their body language. I don't know if they're actually going to enjoy what I want to do. Like, there's all of that nerves and anxiety there. And so I just have to pretend like I'm confident. I establish and negotiate 4 communication lines to be very, very open in terms of stopping scenes, checking in, knowing inside and out what this person's hard and soft limits are, what their big green yeses are, what their big hard red no's are, knowing that really, really well, so I'm confident I'm playing within something that they're going to enjoy, but leaving those communication lines open, and then just kind of pretending that I'm confident. Pretending that I know what I'm talking about, pretending that, like, I am, like, this big, sadistic, powerful being, waha, or, like, whatever we've negotiated for me to play as, and just leaning into that. And in my experience, fake confidence will eventually turn into real confidence. And so even if you're not confident at first, if you can roleplay being somebody who is confident, that is how I would frame it, is role-playing being somebody who is confident. Not what you're basically doing is you have yourself in your everyday life where you're not confident. You're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm going to be good at this. You leave that at the door, right? Create this other person, this alter ego that you can step into when you do a scene. So you can kind of embody that, and you know that that person you're role-playing as, even if it's not literally another person, not playing a character, right? But, like, for the sake of, you know, having this structure, you are creating a person that is confident. And you're like, look, this thing that I'm doing right now, this person is confident. And so in order to do my roleplay, I have to be confident. And I have found that works fairly well for me. And eventually, when you get enough experience doing that, the more scenes you have, the more you get to know the person you're playing with, that kind of false confidence will turn into real confidence. And especially within an individual scene, the longer you are in that scene, the more natural to become. Like, I think most scenes, unless there's somebody you know really, really well, they're going to be a little bit awkward at first. They're going to be a little bit of, like, figuring out each other's body language and all that. But once you actually get into it and you've been doing it for, like, 20 minutes, half an hour, longer, like, you get confident within the scene because you've been going for that long already, right? So that is what I have generally found works for me. Hopefully that helps you a little bit. And it's something that we all have to go through. I think the only people I know of that go into the scene and are just perfectly confident are dangerous. Because you have to have a little bit of that apprehension, I think, in order to know to pause, to admit when you don't know how to do something, when you don't know how to do something safely, or when you're not comfortable with something. And if you go into it just full bravado, I know how to do everything, I'm perfect. Like, I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying individually, once the scene starts, pretend that, like, you know, have kind of a sense of bravado about you. But not when you're negotiating, when you're talking to people. Like, that's a persona you put on for doing the scene. If you're just going into BDSM as a whole, being like, I know how to do everything, I am big, strong, tough dom, wahaha, like, that is going to land you in a lot of hot water. So I personally find people who go into it with full unbridled confidence immediately to be, I think as the kids say, sus. Orange is sus. God, the anime episode made me feel so many confusing things. Yes, it is, Orina Sephiroth is an experience. Happy Halloween, Evie. Do you have any experience with fear play? Trying to think, do I? I think I've watched people do fear play scenes. I've definitely done consensual and non-consent, and I've definitely felt like fear towards the experience or towards my partners in a consensual way. But the fear itself has not been the emphasis for this scene, which is what I think makes fear play distinct, is, like, you know, fear is the emphasis as opposed to a side dish, right? And I've definitely seen people do fear play scenes before. I've definitely done scenes where that's been an element, but nothing really exclusive. But if you have any particular questions about doing fear play or what fear play is like, I would certainly be happy to answer those for you. Have you ever watched Ruby? I have not watched Ruby. Ruby. Every once in a while, the fangs get in the way. Every once in a while. I did watch H Bomber Guy's extremely long takedown video about Ruby, though. So does that count? Oh, we have a super chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Beansman. I found a munch that is very close to me, and they're online at the moment. But it is only once a month, and I'm worried because it usually takes a few meetings in a new group setting to come out of my shell. Ah, yes, that is a conundrum. I mean, it's going to be a problem in real life as well as doing anything in person, too. I think, oh my god, we have almost 200 people watching. Oh my gosh, hello everyone. That's so amazing to me. Welcome, welcome. Happy almost Halloween. But, yeah, I mean, I think really... see, I don't want to say go into a munch with the goal being like make friends with people or have any particular goal about having any sort of relationship with people that are there. I think the goal is to go there and have fun, right? And so I think maybe it might be helpful if you can establish a connection with people at that munch, like maybe 1 or 2 people, and then you can connect with them on FetLife, right? You can get their FetLife usernames or whatever it is the kids are using these days, and you can get that information. And then once you have that, it becomes a lot easier to stay connected with people in between those munches. And I would bet that there is probably more than one event going on. And I know from my local community that a lot of people have sort of, not really private groups, they're not exclusive, but like once you go to a munch and you meet somebody, then you get the invite to go to this other thing. And so I would bet there's probably some kind of like community members, like more private discussion group or a Discord channel or a text message group chat or something. There is something probably beyond that one munch that people also do together. And going to the munch at the end of it, if you have a good time, if you like the people that are there, if you can ask them if there's like another way that you can connect with them before the next month or keep in contact or something, that would be a good opportunity to learn about those other things if those other things exist in that particular community. But chances are, I would imagine there's probably more than one thing beyond that just one singular munch once a month. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. Rocky Horror, yes or no? I have seen Rocky Horror Picture Show. I went to an actual show of Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I gotta be honest, I didn't really get it. I didn't really get it. I was like, is this kind of transphobic? Like, I think I would appreciate it a lot more if I had seen it like 10 or 20 years ago. I think seeing it now, the main thing that sticks out of my head is the attempted / actual sexual assault and the kind of maybe a little bit of transphobia-ness that happens with the fact that like he's a cross-dresser alien and like I don't know, it's weird. I feel like I can understand why people really enjoy it. I feel like I am perhaps it's sort of like it's trying to enjoy like particular episodes of I don't know, like Friends or Seinfeld, where it's like, oh yeah, I think we've just kind of gone past maybe the point where that comedy is like aged out of being like something you can enjoy outside of its context. And like I can enjoy Rocky Horror Picture Show within its context, but like for how much people talk about it being amazing and going to these showings of it and everything, I was kind of expecting a little bit more. I was expecting a little bit more than what I got. Can you speak in French? Non. I cannot. I took Spanish in school. I also did sign language. Did not do French. Oh my god. $100 super chat. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Turtle Boy. That is so I don't have any sort of special sparkling emotes or whatever. Oh my god. No, this will be the gift for the $100 super chat.
I didn't even know.
This is my beautiful baby vampire girl.
She's like, hello.
Hi, honey. You're so bundled up in your little blanket. She loves this blanket. We just got it. Thank you for all the information. I'm more of an outsider to BDSM, but I learned more than I ever did from anybody else. Smiley face. Thank you so much. Bandit bless. Wait, are you just gonna leave her?
Well, I'm starting a movie on that.
Oh, gotcha.
On the thing.
Okay, well, all right, my
You can
sweetie.
put her down.
Here, that's what I'm trying to figure out how to do. I'm like, how do I set her down in a way that's like
She's padded.
careful? She's very padded right now. Aw, Corgi, saying hello to Bandito. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. All right, we're getting our legs out. Oh no, honey, you're slipping. You're falling. All right, there you go. Uh-oh, we're falling. Okay, you're gonna be safe. All right. Look, honey, you get the whole blanket to yourself. You get the whole blanket to yourself. we'll snuggle more later. What do you think about that? All right, dog time over. It's raining so hard that people can't trick or treat. Yeah, I guess you're in New Zealand, so people probably can't trick or treat. Unfortunately, not the case here. I did get a bowl of candy. It's like over there somewhere, just in case anybody showed up. I am not anticipating getting any trick or treats though, because we're also like on this alley, and so we wouldn't really get people showing up anyhow, I don't think. But you never know. I wouldn't want to be. I would not want somebody to go all the way out of their way to come to my house to get candy and then not get candy, you know? That would be muy unfortunate. She's having a great time. She loves that little blanket. Very,
You can't win.
Yeah, everybody loved it. I saw the chat explode. A vampire or werewolf? You know what? I am I am dressed up as a vampire today, but I think werewolves. I think werewolves overall are my favorite. I did a photo shoot last year for Halloween that was a werewolf. Like I had these really cool, like, ripped up jeans and these boots and this plaid, and like it was the opposite in every way. That was like a high butch photo shoot. This is like a high femme photo shoot. And I think werewolves though. I feel like werewolves, and I swear I've talked about this before. Maybe this was for a Patreon live stream. I feel like werewolves always get the short end of the stick when it comes to general media, like Halloween stuff, romance novels, whatever. They like, I think Alpha and Omega stuff has kind of changed that a little bit, but for like more general media, I find that vampires are always like the really wealthy, elite, aristocratic, super beautiful, and then like werewolves basically like live in the sewers and are like ugly parasites, right? And I would love it if we could flip that around and have the werewolves be the super hot overlord ones and have the vampires be the parasites. I feel like that makes more sense, because like werewolves, like presumably if we're going off of kind of some wolf pseudoscience for them, like very hierarchical, very organized, easily could have a extended loyal crime network, like the world's biggest mafia, right, of a crime family is werewolves. You could easily have that, and then have the vampires be the parasites that live in the sewers and feed on people, you know? And I feel like I don't even know where I would start if I wanted to write something about that. It is in the back of my head though for eventually when I become a novelist. Like, that is my concept I want to have done, is vampires are like very Nosferatu vampires, and how the werewolves be the ones that are the hot super fancy boys. I feel like with Alpha and Omega stuff, that has probably shifted the zeitgeist, shall we say, on that a wee bit. I've been kicked to the bottom of the chat. All right. So many things to talk about. Oh, let's see. Where was I in the chat? Oh, I'm so far away. Do you think you'll ever be able to give a public dungeon tour, empty without people, of course, haha. I would love to. The dungeon where I live, how to describe this without giving away specifically what it is? It is not a full-time dungeon, and so during the daytime, or, you know, during the week when they're not hosting events, it is a different space. They do not have dungeon furniture out, so it would have to somehow be a time when they had furniture out and had it set up for BDSM things, but then didn't have people there for BDSM things. And so I don't know how that would work out. I would love to see it. I would love to do something like that. Hear that? Oh, the racket, the noise. I want to do that. I don't have any immediate plans for it just because the space where I live isn't really like suited for that. But I think that would be very useful for people because for some reason my dungeon tour video has like 1 million views and I'm like, how the fuck did this happen? That's the internet though. You never know what's going to go viral. If you could really own a Pokemon in real life, what would it be? How would you care for your Pokemon? I mean, I love Noivern. I love Lapras. I have a lot of Pokemon I really love, but I feel like if I was practically going to care for a Pokemon, it would have to be like an Eevee. It would have to be an Eevee or one of the evolutions. And I mean, Bandit is essentially an Eevee. Like, what are Eevees if not Pomeranians? And I am also an Eevee. So, obviously, that can be the only correct answer. And I feel like I would just treat them the same way I treat my actual dog, which is Bandit. Unless, I don't know, do they need something in particular? Because I don't know, how would my Eevee evolve? Because eventually, like, Eevee would probably turn into an Umbreon or an Espeon or a Sylveon or something, right? Probably. Because one of them is, like, friendship, and then one's, like, love, which is interesting. How does a Pokemon fall in love with a human? There's probably fiction about that, isn't there? Now that I've said that. Oh, dear. That's the internet, isn't it? Even looking so cute tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I feel like I'm looking pretty snazzy. You know? I know this is hella random, but hella random, but I'm having trouble with my brat. We don't see each other much in real life, so I need some overcall / text punishments. Do you have any suggestions? I mean, honestly, my first immediate thought goes to, you ever seen those memes where Bandit left. So sad. Well, you ever seen those text posts where it's like, I need you to hurt me, and then they just say things like, your sister's prettier than you are and more successful. You never amount to anything. I don't like your new haircut. Like, stuff like that, like, I feel like is like, ooh, that cuts deep, you know? Maybe don't do that. Just, oh, you know what, guys? I am hungry. Sorry, I'm gonna keep answering this question, I promise. I am hungry. I have not eaten today. It's 7 p.m. I need to eat something. I made ginger pumpkin bread. I'm going to get a slice of my ginger pumpkin bread. But before I do that, I have to answer this super chat. So we're going to do that. Agreeing with Turtle Boy. Looking forward to your werewolf romance horror video. Yes, I will absolutely do that. Thank you so much, Ticket Black. Thank you so much. All right, I'm getting ginger pumpkin bread, not pumpkin gingerbread. An important and vital, I would say, distinction. So, I'm going to take these out. I'm taking them out once I get the bread, though. Oh, you guys want to see the full t-shirt, by the way? While I'm doing this. Look, my camera's still out. Check it out. Yeah. Woo. Look at that. I'm going to the gym later. What do you guys think? People are, like, surprised at how... Sorry, I have to have... Like, you guys can't see my back muscles, but, like, my back muscles are fucking impressive. Like... I get guys that are, like, surprised at how strong I am. And, like, I fully enjoy that experience. Like, I'm gonna get a little TMI. I was doing a little hanky-panky with one of my partners. And they were like, you can't get away from me. You're not strong enough. And I just, like, I ended up accidentally headbutting them. But... I, like, fully, they were like, whoa, wait, you're really strong, stop. Like, I ended up, like, fully twisting out of the grip, and I was like, you can't underestimate it. You can't underestimate me. Like, come on. Yes, but yeah, Care Bears, got fake blood on it. I think it'll probably come out. Anyways, gonna get pumpkin bread. pumpkin bread and smokehouse almonds. So here you guys go. There's the last look at my physique. Gonna go back to my normal sitting position now. Oh, let me. It was getting loud. I'm not here for it. I don't like when people are loud. Okay, we're back to looking at these things and eating some food. Did you make the pumpkin bread? I did. It is vegan ginger pumpkin bread. I made it last night in a flurry in between doing Patreon stuff and live streaming. Super worth it. I think I may have undercooked it a little bit, but there's no animal products in here. I'm not worried about anything like killing me. Eat some pumpkin bread. I love ginger, so I put I put minced ginger in this, and I also put in a ginger syrup. I do feel like maybe also made it a little bit denser as well, which is why it's kind of chewy. But yes, what was I talking about? Oh yes, over text / call punishments. Have you tried disappointment? And yeah, disappointment, anything verbal is good, but that real, especially if you're getting humiliation stuff, like that is so specific to the individual person that like I would honestly be scared to just even give suggestions, because I don't know, the boundary between what is good for somebody and what is potentially triggering is so thin. Or also, I know something that other people also do is, what is it? I'm thinking of, there's like a term for it, and I can't think of it. Oh, like punishments that you can tell them to do that they have to like take pictures of. I feel like there's a word for that. Do people know what I'm talking about? I would recommend doing something where like they have to show you like video or photo proof that they're doing it. Because if you can like text or video call them, then like, you can have them like send evidence that they're punishing themselves in the way that you prescribe for them to do. I think that's probably a good general place to start. And of course, you have to do things at your brat. Like, is this a brat, like, punishment thing in terms of, like, actually reinforcing your dynamic? Or is it, like, they just need to be spanked because they haven't been spanked in a while, you know? Because that's actually two different things. I should have thought of that before. Oh, this is an interesting question. If comprehensive sex education reform is ever introduced, could BDSM be taught in schools? There's could and should and would, right? And, you know, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I feel like it could potentially be on the radar, but like also BDSM isn't a purely sexual thing. And so I don't even, and BDSM is also so vast that I don't really necessarily know how you would introduce that in like a contained way. I feel like if it was going to happen, it would maybe be for like either late high school students or like early college age students. I feel like you could probably cover like the things that are really important to talk about for BDSM without actually calling it BDSM in terms of safety. Like, if it's comprehensive sex education and it's really focused on consent and checking in with your partners and all that good stuff, then I feel like that would, you know, and negotiating and being able to revoke your consent at any time. And if you're ever in doubt if somebody is mean to say yes or no, like, I think that would be what I would probably be, I think be more likely, and I think would probably be easier just also for teachers and stuff as well to be able to get to class, because like we're expecting, you know, health school teachers to be able to teach this stuff, and I feel like it would be easier to just do it in a way where you're not really directly calling it BDSM, you're not really calling out BDSM in particular, but you're sort of teaching about the vastness of human sexuality in a way where like there is room to talk about, you know, maybe like rougher experiences, and just emphasizing again communication, negotiation, and consent and all that. But otherwise, I can't really picture how to like teach that to high schoolers within a sex ed context. Looks like people had some good suggestions in the comments for what to do for long distance partners. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Journal Boy. I used to think that BDSM was purely sexual. Yay for asexual kinky representation. Oh my gosh, so true. I'm so happy to offer that for people because like that's probably I don't know if this is the biggest misconception. It probably is that BDSM is always a sex thing. And while it can be, it isn't always. And so I think that's an important part of the conversation, too. You guys are going to kill me with these super chats. I do not deserve any of this. I don't even know what denomination this is. Thank you for everything. What is this? I gotta Google it. I've never... That is an Indian rupee. Oh my gosh. Wow, I don't think I've never had an Indian rupee before. Thank you for everything. You're so welcome. For me, it's confidence getting out into the scene publicly to meet a potential partner. So I'm not even sure if Toledo, Ohio has a dungeon or BDSM events. But thank you so much for the advice. I know Ohio has BDSM events. The Great Lakes region definitely has kinky stuff. So, I'm not sure if it's currently accessible, but I would bet there's at least something in the state of Ohio. Do I like tickling scenes? I'm not really ticklish. I don't think I'm good at tickling other people. I'm not like against the idea of tickling. I don't think it's weird. And I've definitely seen other people do it at dungeons. Like there's one place I traveled to where like there was a local dom that was like known as like the tickle torture dom. I'm like, people are really into that, but like I'm not really ticklish. And I've never really done a scene with anybody that would want to receive that, and I didn't really like tickle people when I was like a kid. So I could see it, but it's not like high on my priority list. It would be really fun to do, like, I think mixed in with like something that was maybe a little bit more intense. And kind of having this ticklishness almost be like a reprieve, but also its own form of torture at the same time, and kind of alternating between those two things, I think could be really fun. Okay, good clarification. Cardi Wolf said, I'm feeling off about the idea of faking confidence. I would say that mustering up courage to do what needs to do in difficult situations is more genuine than faking confidence. Thoughts? So, I guess what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to express the idea of mustering up your courage to do something. And so I'm not saying like pretend to be something you're not, or go into a conversation pretending to be confident with. Like, I think if you're a newer dom and you don't have the confidence yet, be honest about the fact you're new, be honest about the fact you're nervous, but when you're actually in the scene space, kind of creating an alter ego for yourself that can be more confident than the sort of than you allow yourself to be, essentially. Or I don't know if that fully makes sense, but part of that process is mustering up the courage to be able to do that in the first place. So my emphasis is on kind of being brave, taking a chance, and just having faith in yourself. But part of having the courage to be able to do that is kind of being able to pump yourself up a little bit and have a little bit of ego. And I think that's perfectly fine. Does that make more sense? What are you, Mr. Tex, and Bandit dressing as for Halloween? I don't know. I don't know yet. I couldn't find a costume for Bandit. Like, that just is not, like, I went to Target and they didn't even have Halloween stuff anymore. It was all Christmas. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I couldn't find any Halloween dog costumes. And so she's not dressing up as anything except for her wonderful, beautiful self, which I'm perfectly fine with. I don't know exactly. I feel like I'm doing a D&D game for Halloween. So that's going to be mostly what I'm doing is Dungeons & Dragons. But I don't know if I'm going to have time to dress up for that ahead of time or like what's going to go on. I'm not sure. Maybe this. Maybe a vampire that's not pastel. Whatever I have time for. It'll be a surprise to me as much as anybody else. Because it's Halloween, if you were sorted into a Hogwarts house, which house would you be in? I'm in Ravenclaw. I've gotten Ravenclaw. I think my next one after that was maybe Slytherin. I think Ravenclaw though. I'm a big nerd. I read books. Intelligence is very important to me. Nice teeth reminds me of Kali in Hinduism. Oh, maybe. I don't really know a lot about that. Oh, the creator of Rocky Horror Picture Show said some transphobic stuff recently, so certainly not coming from a place of understanding. Ooh, I did not know that. I missed it on that one for sure. Oh, we finally got to the part where Bandit showed up. Yes. How did you get those fangs? I ordered a scarecrow fang kit on Amazon. Team Edward or Team Jacob? I think I was originally Team Jacob, but then like they made Jacob really weird and kind of like sexual assaulty, and I was like, oh, that's not great. Are you gonna do anything to celebrate 150k subs? I'm already that close to it. I guess I wasn't really planning on anything. I'd probably just do a fun like, congratulations, yay, live stream. I would definitely, for 200,000 subscribers, I would definitely do something. But 150, I'm not sure. How long ago did you hit 100k subs? I think sometime in this year. I don't remember when, though. All Hallows Eve, what a concept. Yeah, it's All Hallows Eve with Evie. That's the name of this episode now. I'm changing it, it's happening. Y'all are just really watching me eat pumpkin bread, which I think is so wholesome and fun. Oh shit, I actually need to do the whole title. Oh god. I have to change it to this. All Hallows Eve with Evie. There we go, it's done. I did it. Do you think... Okay, we got a couple good questions here. Do you think you have to use your safe words less often as you got more experience with BDSM? It's kind of hard to tell. I feel like, on the one hand, I definitely do more intense scenes now that I'm more experienced, which may necessitate having to use a safe word more frequently. And I'm also more confident in myself and in my needs. Whereas when I was maybe very first in the scene and I was kind of taking in a lot of stuff from like dominant vanilla culture, then I felt very inhibited about using a safe word. Like, oh, I wanted to avoid using it, especially in the community where I started out in. There was a lot of conversation amongst doms about like their partners not safe wording and kind of like it being a point of pride that their partners could take so much. And so I felt very reluctant to use a safe word. So I think as I got more confident in myself and more experienced and did more kind of dangerous scenes, essentially, I probably were in more situations where I needed to use my safe word, but I was also better at negotiation. So I ended up avoiding more situations where I may have needed to use a safe word due to lack of conversation ahead of time. So kind of a little bit of a back and forth there. I would say it's probably like, I think the way that kind of the dice roll out, I think it's been more even. I would say I've had like one or two times where I've had to like red, but usually I yellow. So usually I will tell my partner that we need to check in, and then I'll, it's like, oh, go harder or go softer, or I have 5 minutes left, or you did this thing and now my butt hurts and it's like you hit my tailbone or whatever, something like that. Like some kind of communication where when that can happen in the scene and the rest of the scene can keep going, that is usually what ends up happening. Is I usually check in with my partner, tell them what's going on, and then we get to continue versus just getting to the point where I have to red completely. Do you think switches are truly accepted in the BDSM world? If they're not, then my local community has some serious problems because like everyone I know is a switch. Not literally, but like 60% of the people are switches, I'd say. So I'd probably say that they are accepted, with the caveat that it really depends on where you live and who you're hanging out with, because there are certainly subsets of the BDSM community where people are a lot more conservative, a lot more like you have to be this or that, and so those people obviously aren't going to be accepting of switches because they feel like you have to pick one, or they feel like oh, there's the people who are like, all women are submissives, like as a biological fact, or that like all women are inherently superior as like a biological fact. And like obviously those people aren't very accepting of switches because that goes against what they believe about genetics and about like gender's predisposition to dominance or submission. But I think on the whole, the larger community I think is. If I don't see a question, just FYI, as a reminder, I do go through in the order that questions are received. If you would like to skip ahead in the line, the way that you do that is with the super chat. So if you would like to attach your question to a super chat, that would be the best way to have your question be answered, because we only have, gosh, it's already almost 7:30. Wow. I have like half an hour left, basically. The gains. Thank you everyone for being so supportive of my gains. It is very fun going to the gym. I like it. It has been a great substitute for not being able to go to the dungeon, I'll tell you that much. I feel like they have a lot of really good protocol in place here for having social distancing and stuff at gyms. So I feel very confident going, and I specifically go late at night on days when most other people aren't there. So I feel relatively safe. But I probably go there as much as like anybody else does. Okay. My D type is wanting to see how far and how long I can stay in different attitudes. I have 3. My question is, if one of the attitudes which the server takes over, should I be worried about putting the 3 types back together? I feel like it's always really hard to have anything be completely equal to anything else. Just like perfectly, like 100% equal. And I would probably say that I would worry less about having all 3 of them like be put back together after this, because my interpretation of what you're saying is that your partner wants to see how long you can stay within like 3 different headspaces, right? So maybe you have a servant, you have a little, and a masochist, right? And so maybe you spend like a week as a masochist. That doesn't necessarily mean those other 2 ones are going to go away. I think it's about what is going to be fulfilling for you. And I think this could be an interesting experiment to see what is easiest for you long term to maintain, what you're the most interested in, what you kind of struggle with maintaining, and what helps you feel more connected to each one of those headspaces versus the other ones. But if they're truly something you're really motivated to do, I mean, because it kind of depends on how long your partner expects you to be in that headspace. If he's expecting you to be in that headspace for like weeks on end, then like I think that would be more of a worry. But if it's just like, I want to see if we can maintain this specific dynamic for a week, 2 weeks even, I think that shouldn't necessarily be where you're going to lose out on it. Because if it's something you're really motivated to do and that you enjoy, it's not going to go away overnight. It's not going to go away overnight, even if you don't get to engage in it. Because the same thing is true for people who don't get to do BDSM for an extended period of time. If maybe they've been away because of a relationship or illness or work or something, they just can't do BDSM for whatever reason. Like, they don't stop being kinky because they haven't done it for a while. I think the same thing is true of any sort of various headspaces you might have. It might be harder to feel attached to them or remember what you liked about them or anything else, but it's probably still going to be there. I'm going to wear my Eeyore onesie and go to Starbucks. Eeyore onesie, that sounds so cute. I love that. I have a wolf onesie. I wore it for our live stream on Patreon yesterday. I would say, so on the subject of switches, I saw somebody else also kind of ask a follow-up question to that. I feel like there is tolerance and there's acceptance, which is perhaps an important distinction. I would say switches are largely tolerated. I would say if you're trying to find a play partner that understands switches and knows how to maintain both halves of a switch being happy, that is very difficult. So I think people tolerate switches. I think they understand that they exist. I think finding play partners who kind of get it, that is a different question. In the same way, I think it can be very difficult for bisexual people to maybe find a place. Oh, and thank you so much for the thank you, Al-Marie. Hopefully I answered your question sufficiently. And thank you for the super chat. It's similar, I think, to some extent being bisexual, whereas like if you're a bisexual woman and you're with a man, like a man kind of treats you as straight unless you're interested in having like a third person in the bedroom, for example. And so you kind of get stuck in this place of being functionally straight. And I think the same thing happens for switches, where maybe they're a switch and they really, really have a dominant side and they really have a submissive side. If they happen to find a dominant where the submissive side is fed, that dominant side can kind of be misplaced. And I think that is where the switch struggle really, really comes in, is especially if you play in a more monogamous way where you either want to find another switch or you don't play with other people very often. Like getting both of those halves fed can be a struggle. Did you make the pumpkin bread? I did. It was a lot of fun. Oh, okay. I saw somebody ask the switch question again. The teeth were alive. It was just normal you and Evie all along. I feel so duped. I know. It looks so realistic, didn't it? Do you have any secret ingredients? For me, if you undercook cakes and put it in the fridge and then it becomes dense like a brownie, like, oh, there you go. Oh yeah, my secret ingredient was ginger syrup, because we used pumpkin spice applesauce as an egg substitute, and I added a little bit of ginger syrup in there, and it was good. Thank you for being so watchful on your chat. You gave me helpful advice about Shibari the other week. Can you recommend any books on sensation play? Ooh, sensation play. Books on sensation play. I cannot think of any books that focus on sensation play in particular. I know there are books I have read where they have a little blurb about sensation. I like how it keeps focusing on this lollipop instead of on my face. Where it focuses on sensation play as like an area of BDSM that you could potentially explore. I feel like the closest is Dossie Easton's book, which is Spanking for Lovers, which is about spanking. It goes into a couple other types of implements in there. But I feel like since spanking can also be very sensation focused at the same time, that would be the closest one I could think of. But yeah, it's surprising because there are so many areas for sensation play. You'd think somebody would have written about it extensively, but most of what I've heard and learned about it has been from like FetLife and not really published books, but like classes and things like that. All right, back to where I was in the chat. Can spanking be vanilla? Oh, this is a real interesting question. Oh my gosh. Hello, 216 viewers. Welcome to my live stream. Do I think that spanking can be vanilla? I feel like there are situations where the answer might be yes, because I think intention is one of the most important ingredients. I think is one of the most important ingredients because there are multiple different ways to interpret a given activity. And I think if it's two otherwise not kinky people that have never done anything BDSM related before, that are kind of just playing around in the bedroom and like a little bit of incidental light tapping on the butt happens, or a little bit of light spanking happens. I would say that's spanking that happened, but it's not really kinky. I think obviously like spanking can be a place for vanilla people to start exploring BDSM. I think it's like spanking is one of those weird activities where I think it largely exists within BDSM, but there are also people who definitely do spanking as part of sex, but they don't really perceive it as like a BDSM thing. I personally do consider it BDSM, and if I'm wanting to do spanking with somebody in bed, it's because it's a kink thing, not because it's a normal sex thing. So I think you have to be cognizant of how different people intend to do things when you're kind of trying to figure out is this BDSM or not, because there are definitely situations under which things that we would consider BDSM might not be, depending on who's doing them and how. For a second I thought it said 7:52 and I was like, where did the last 20 minutes go? Okay, no, we're good. Okay, nobody panic. We have 20 more minutes to ask and answer questions, so feel free to ask them now. Although at this point, honestly, if you haven't asked your question yet, you're probably going to need to use a super chat if you want me to see it. Did you dye your hair or is that a wig? This is a wig. So I keep moving my bangs forward. It's like, what is going on with these bangs? I don't know. It's like hard to adjust it when I'm like on camera. But yeah, this is a wig. This is a wig. We had a little bit of a wig moment. If I needed to bleach my hair, I would not be able to get it this color in a week. It would be months. It would be months probably of dyeing it and bleaching it. But I am flattered that it looks somewhat real-ish. I've been trying to find a video on your channel related to caning, but I haven't found anything. Is it possibly grouped in a different video? I do not have a video about caning. However, if you look up Morgan Thorne, that's Thorne with an E at the end, like Bella Thorne. If you look up Morgan Thorne, she has a video about caning, and I would check that one out. And also the book I mentioned earlier, Spanking for Lovers, does have an extensive section on caning as well, if that is of interest to you. But I do not have a video about it. Slightly different question for you. I want to know if you possibly got the letter in Portuguese. Yes. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I went to my PO box. Give me 1 second. I wanted to do this on stream. Thank you for the reminder. I got some really nice things in my PO box and I wanted to show them to you all. So we're going to do that. Alright. I already unpackaged these. So I don't think I have anything in here that will reveal anybody's identity. But y'all, look at this. Isn't that the coolest thing? Like, somebody, like, watercolor is so hard. Like, that is, like, I like, it's so cool. Like, I'm going to frame this, and we have decided I'm going to frame it. I'm going to put it above Bandit's bed, because anywhere else would be kind of egotistical, but I want to have it hung up somewhere, so it's literally I'm gonna hang it above, Bandit has like a little alcove in our bedroom where her bed is, I'm gonna hang it up above her bed. And then somehow this letter got wet, but the note inside was fine. I'm just going to show it really briefly and just cover up the things. So somebody sent me a really, really nice little letter that was like, hey, I heard that you said you get weird shit in the mail, so here's something to counteract the weird shit. And I was like, oh, that's so thoughtful. And then the one thing that I haven't actually opened yet is I got this. I got this in the mail. And it's a book, obviously, but there's other things that go with it, too. So this, here, let me give full props to whoever it is that made this, first of all. It looks like A Girl Creative, a girl creative shop on Instagram, etsy.com/shop/A Girl Creative Shop, and then Redbubble, A Girl Creative. So, I guess let's look at that first. Oh, there's a pin. That's exciting. I truly do not deserve any of this. I don't know why. Oh my god, this is so cool. Look, there's a little, I don't know if it focused. Oh, excellent. It focused on it. Look at that. Again, sorry for my fake blood-stained hands. That's red corn syrup for you. And then, it looks like there's a little necklace. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's a little charm. Oh, there's a little charm too. Look. I don't know if that probably won't show up. Or will it? Will it? Ah, there we go. Look at that. And then, let me see what, I think this is just a necklace. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, very cool. Oh, it's soft. Interesting. Oh, it's all tangled. What have I done? Oh, no, it's good. Okay, I thought it was tangled. I thought I somehow managed to knot it without even wearing it yet. So this is a little Triskelion necklace, which I feel like goes to this whole vibe, you know, because it's kind of like glittery. Like, oh, that would be perfect. I love that. That's so thoughtful. And then the big thing is the mystery is a book. Oh, sliding out of the package. And then I got a letter, which I'm not going to read on stream, but I will keep it out and I'll read it later after we're done. Oh, it says, interesting. Okay. All right. It says S Australia. I don't know if that's the name of a person or if this is like the South Australia edition of this, but this is called the Kinky Dick. So, dictionary, a tiny dictionary for kinky folk, journal edition. Oh, okay. Oh, there's one of those like make your own, like the dot journal things in the back. So you have your whole, like you have all of this. What is rainbow play? Ah, Roman shower. That's what I call it. Not that I've ever done a Roman shower. This is the first thing I was like, oh, rainbow play. That has to be pleasant. No, vomit. Spoiler alerts for this book. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Yeah, we got all the words in there. We've got protector, baby deal. Okay, very cool. Wow. Yes. Okay, yes. It's for like class notes and things. That's perfect. Ah, I love it. Like, got like cute little doodles in it and everything. Oh, that's great. That's great. I love that. I love that. Ugh. I'm starting to feel my contact lens a little bit dry. I wore purple contact lenses for another photo shoot, and one of the lenses fell out while I was doing the photo shoot, and I didn't even notice. Ugh. So embarrassing. Are you just like that because of the Ariel 80s character? I am not. I have not gotten that before. But possibly. Oh no. Sorry, I can't see what I'm doing because I'm fucking things in front of the keyboard. Alright, there we go. There we go. I can say 100% that I have not found a group yet that accepts a true switch. I'm sorry to hear that. That is very unfortunate. Yes, good point. Just the concept of a power dynamic and play being something that consenting adults could do would be a good start to teach high schoolers. Yes. Yes, that is a good point. I like that. That could definitely be it. Mm-hmm. Aw, thank you so much. You're amazing, and I appreciate you so much for what you do. Aw. Or what you do for us, even. Aw. You're welcome. Look, I'm just out here, like, somebody had to just spread this information. It might as well be me, you know? Because I trust myself to do best by people. I don't necessarily trust other YouTubers to do that. No shade at anyone in particular, but it rhymes with, it says, there's a bird. There's a bird in the name. That's all I'm going to say. I shouldn't say that because that actually sounds like maybe people might misinterpret that as somebody else. I don't mean. A stellar's blank. If you know birds, you know what I'm talking about. Can you hypnotize me? I don't know. Can I? No, I can't. I don't know anything about how to do hypnosis. I'm sorry. I am very curious about hypnokink. I would love to experience it. I've done self hypnosis before, actually. I've done self hypnosis. Never on another person. Never with another person. I find my main thing is when I get into a deeper level of trance, I tend to get very anxious. And my like anxiety kind of watcher brain trips on, and then I have a hard time having a good time. So I'd love to learn more, but unfortunately not at the present. Do you have experiences and opinions on golden showers? I don't know. Guys, let's consult the dictionary. What is a golden shower? What is a golden shower? Oh, this isn't in alphabetical order. Oh, it's by category. Interesting. Okay. I think I saw golden shower in here, though. Oh, no, wait. Now it's in, now it is. Now it is in the alphabetical order. It's different. It's organized in different ways. Oh, guys, what do you think? What do you think it is? We actually saw earlier. Spoilers. Urination on another. I have received water sports on multiple occasions. I do enjoy it. I experience it as enjoyable from primarily a degradation perspective, like enjoyment thing. So I've done it. I like it. What I find can be difficult about it is aiming can be difficult. If you don't want to, like, for example, getting it into your eyes because you're wearing contacts, maybe, that can be a problem. Or having a good space to do it in can also be a problem because usually you can't do that kind of stuff at dungeons. And also, like, just depending on if your partner experiences BDSM in a sexual way or not, it can be real hard to pee on somebody when you are aroused. That is the main thing I have found that people have a problem with water sports is it can be really hot, but if you find it too hot, then it gets really hard to do because it's really hard to be aroused and pee at the same time. So it's fun. It does take coordination, though. It does take coordination. What would be the top 5 things that you think must be included in a movie, book, etc. to fully, accurately represent a BDSM relationship? Negotiation, consent, ongoing, communication, consent, negotiations, safe words, and both people really wanting to be in the relationship and or having some previous experience of doing BDSM. Like, every single movie about BDSM, it's like, oh, these people are, like, discovering kink together for the first time. I really want a story where, like, people have already done kink before or know what it is or, like, watch BDSM porn or something. I don't give a shit. And they have that as, like, their framework for experiencing BDSM. So they actually already have some kind of existing knowledge or interest that they're aware of, and I think that would give it more of a sense of realism, because it'd be very rare for somebody to be like, what's BDSM, and then, like, be into it, like, you know, the next time you guys have sex. Like, that's not gonna happen. Where are the fangs? I took them out so I could eat food. They're on the plate. Brittany! I miss Brittany in the chat. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for hanging out with me though. Are you vegan? Yeah. This is a vegan lollipop, baby. I need vegan bread. It's life. Vegan life, baby. Is it normal to use bratty behavior as a way to trigger masochistic activities, like a punishment type deal? It absolutely is. Absolutely. I would say that's testing boundaries and desiring pain are like the two main motivators for brats. And so if your partner wants to experience physical pain of a certain type that they would enjoy, then probably, you know, bratting is one way that they get that need met. It's kind of a way of signaling to their partner that's what they need. And that's sort of how bratting and punishment comes about. Punishment. However, the problem with that is if you give them rules, those are buttons that they can push. And so you have to be very delicate in the ways in which you are reinforcing the bratting, aka making it more likely for them to brat, by just reinforcing it in certain ways, I guess, and being careful to navigate when you want them to do something more because you're encouraging the brattiness, and communicating to them when is too far, when something is genuinely trying to teach them where those boundaries are. I've discovered that some people have acknowledged therapeutic benefits from BDSM, i.e. getting over fears. Have you noticed any benefits yourself? Definitely. I would say, for me, the main one is probably I feel way more confident in myself just overall across the board. I feel like I'm being very genuinely true to who I am in a way that I couldn't really do prior to being into BDSM. I would say it's offered me just an innumerable number of insights into the importance of communicating with my partners and being open and honest in that. And I don't really know where else I may have learned those lessons as an adult without having done them through BDSM or through poly at least. So I think like learning so much about communication, learning so much about like sexuality, learning so much about kind of like the human body in like a non-sexual capacity, being comfortable like being naked around others and just kind of accepting like nakedness and sexuality in a way where it doesn't have to like phase me, for example, has been really nice. And yeah, getting over like definitely getting over fears, being more confident. I think all of that has been very good for me. All right. Okay, this is going to be the last question. Whatever this is. Hope it's a good one. Somebody said I have a very nice round head, which I'm like, thanks. I guess my parents tried really hard to make sure I had an adequate skull circumference. I love a mukbang. Yes, exactly. This turned into an accidental mukbang. Thank you. I prefer to call it Devil's Night. Yes, fire it up, fire it up. Oh my god, yes. Oh, so funny. Okay, so this is gonna be the last question. Unless anybody has a last minute super chat they want to use, this is gonna be the last one. Any advice on safe words with gag scenes? Partner likes gag play combinations and we're trying to work out that communication factor. Super great that you are concerned about that and thinking about that. Have you considered a nonverbal safe word? Sometimes, depending on what kind of gag you're using, you can do things like humming, for example, can work like humming a tune. That doesn't work with all gags though, or especially if you're layering them. Like if you're doing like a mouse stuffing and then like a tape gag over that, that's not going to work. But there's lots of ways to do nonverbal communication in scenes. Now, if you're adding bondage in, then that gets even more complicated because then that limits your options. But you can have your partner hold on to something like a bouncy ball or keys, and if they drop it, that's the safe word. You can have them have something that makes noise, like a little little noisemaker or jingle bell or a pair of cymbals or something, and when that makes noise, and that's a safe word. You can have them tap something rhythmically, either with their feet or with their hands, right? You know, if they tap twice, that means something, or 3 times, or whatever you want it to be. Or if they tap you or squeeze you, that can also mean something. Or even blinking as well if you're not using a blindfold, like a certain combination of blinks. But that also requires you to be looking at their face while you're doing the scene and being able to have enough light to see what their eyeballs are doing. So that one would be a little bit dicier, but there are definitely lots of options out there for non-verbal safe words if you are having trouble with that, and that's something you want to make sure you can work around with a gag. In general, just like especially if you are kind of concerned about being able to read your partner's body language, or you haven't used a safe word like that before, I would always play very cautiously and stop to check in more than you think you need to, because especially this is an established partner, like you have more time to do more scenes. And so what you have to think about is the fact that like this can be kind of a trial period to see how this works, to make sure the new safe word you want to use works, to see if this new gag thing you want to use works. And you always have time for more advanced scenes or more complicated scenes when you've had the opportunity to kind of check out and test out the individual parts on their own. All right. So, I think that's going to be it for tonight, guys. I gotta get going because I gotta go to the gym. But this is super fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. This was so much fun. We do stream. Oh, we have one last minute super chat. Okay. Happy Halloween. Yes, thank you so much, James. Happy Halloween to everyone. Happy All Hallows Eve with Evie. That is the name of this. This will be the name of it forever. I super appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and being here. Oh my gosh. Super chat. I got. Okay, one more from Pepper. How do you feel about rubber impact play toys, i.e. rubber latex whip or flogger? Was running your opinion on them? I have used them before. I have a rubber flogger. I have a silicone paddle. They can be definitely on the stingy side, so not my preferred sensation, but using them as a top is enjoyable, and they are very easy to clean, which is a really big bonus. So if you are worried about moving fluids from one person to another, using silicone or rubber or latex or something is a lot easier to clean than leather, so that is a good bonus. But anyways, that's everything for tonight, guys. I am going to have the photo shoot that this look came from up on Patreon. Probably not tonight because I took a lot of photos, but tomorrow morning, tomorrow evening, I don't know when it's going to be up sometime between either 3 a.m. today and like 3 a.m. tomorrow. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm aiming for. Thank you guys so much. Every week, Friday, 6 p.m. is when we do these live streams. Hopefully I will see you again soon. Have a great Halloween. Have a great rest of your week. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye.